Hello, this is Olamiju and this is Raise Your Game. Welcome to another episode. Last time we spoke, I spoke about life. I had spoken about life as a game, and we went on to speak about metamorphosis. And I explained that metamorphosis is a process of transformation seen in the life of an organism, and we try to relate that to the obstacles and challenges that people have because in Raise Your Game, our main plan is to help you raise your game, to see life as a game, help you navigate through the obstacles and the challenges that you may find in your life experiences. And we said that some of the things that people have issues with are trying to achieve something and getting to find out that they fail at those things. Now, we're not talking about people who attain or who look out for things that are beyond them. We're saying that people who legitimately have reasons to attain something. They put in all the hard work as much as they can. They've tried as much as possible to put in everything, but they discover that they are unable to get to the end of their plan. Their plan eventually fails. Their dreams do not manifest as much as they have, and they're really worried about those things. So we spoke about the fact that the reason some of these things don't happen is that people have to go through the process called metamorphosis. And I said I was going to talk about it. And metamorphosis is a series of events in the life of an organism that transforms it from an egg into a mature reproductive adult. All right, it's a series of changes, a series of events that occur in the life cycle of an organism that transform it from an egg into a mature reproductive organism. And when you look at the metamorphosis in the life of a butterfly, we see that they have four stages. There's the stage of an egg, that of a crawly form, which is called a caterpillar. You have the third, which is an immobile cocoon, called the pupa stage, and the last one, which is the adult stage, which is the reproductive stage. And it's important to understand and underline the word reproductive because that also has its connotations as we go through them. Now, what we discussed was that people attempt to do great things and they find out that they fail to come through, and they're really worried, especially because the people who seem to attain the goals or the people who seem to be successful in life do not look any different from the regular people that they see on the streets. So they wonder, how come this person is able to get results and I don't have these results? And so that is a lot of frustration and causes a lot of disappointment on the face of the earth. So today, what we want to see is what are the things that we need to do to be able to get through to that point where you achieve your goals, or you become so successful at achieving your goals that it's no longer a problem. Now, the life cycle as metamorphosis is, you have the egg, which is an immobile form. The egg has all the genetic abilities contained within it to become a full butterfly. It has all the genetic constitution within it to become a full butterfly that flies around, that that defy gravity and all of that. But while it is in the egg stage, it is immobile. Then that egg breaks out into a larva, which is a caterpillar. Now this caterpillar is mobile, it can move around, but it is slow, it's not as beautiful, it can only crawl from place to place. It has suckers on its underbelly that allow it to move from place to place. It can avoid predators, it can crawl and eat, but it spends most of its time just eating. Then you now come to the third stage, in which the caterpillar secretes a cocoon around itself, in which it now does some major restructuring, major readjustments, and eventually it breaks out to the last stage, which is the mature reproductive form, which is called the adult stage. And I said that the process of doing great things is a tedious one, and this is seen in the life of those who have gone ahead to produce massive and great things. The Roman philosopher Marcus Cicero said that it is not by the force of physical dexterity, intellectual ability, or by great things, or by so many things on the outside that great things are done, but by force of character and by judgment. And so you find out that it's not only by trying as much as possible to huff and puff that these things get done, but that there has to be certain things that are developed in the inside of the person who wants to carry out these things before you can go ahead. Which means, looking at the life of that butterfly, a caterpillar has all the genetic ability to fly. It is genetic, but it has not become physical. It is not yet an expressed trait. Human beings, we don't go through metamorphosis in terms of the physical on the outside, but within our minds we have to go through metamorphosis, because metamorphosis actually then means that we have understood that there are certain things that need to be done. We need to have some transformation go on in our mind, from the mind of someone who is like a caterpillar, who has very small results, cannot move around too far, can only aspire for little things. We can transform our minds into the mind that becomes that of a butterfly. And what we try to say is that if you attempt what you should attempt as a butterfly while you are in the state of a caterpillar, you will fail. A caterpillar that decides to jump out into the air and expecting to fly because it has the genetic ability, will find itself down, because the force of gravity will bring it down. So when you try to attempt things that are beyond what you have grown for, you find out that you fail. But how do you get to that point where you can attempt those things and not fail? Only one thing: you go to the pupa stage. Metamorphosis means that you go from caterpillar to adult through the pupa stage. And what happens during this pupa stage? What happens is, the caterpillar has fed so much, has crawled and walked around so much, that he has mastered that level. So he now secretes that if he wants to now start flying, it needs to do something. There has to be major reorganization, major readjustments within its body structure, major readjustments within the way it looks, and the likeness of his body weight. So human beings who try to achieve great things must decide to enter into a cocoon, in that cocoon you make certain readjustments. You change your network of friends, you read new books, you listen to a mentor, you distract yourself, you take yourself away from things that distract you, you focus your energies on things that will get you to the end goal. And those are the important things. You must understand that the way to become that person who can achieve great things is to first become successful on the inside. The only way to become successful on the inside is that you have to go through that process that re-energizes you. You re-strategize, it restructures your inward beings. And there is no better way to restructure your inward beings than to read books, than to get yourself engaged in things that develop your human spirit. Because the truth about the matter is that a small mind can never attain great things. That's why people who make money, who win the lottery, never sustain it, because a small mind can never keep great things. You have to develop into a big mind before things become evident on the outside. It is about a process of renewing the mind, in which you do not just achieve success on the outside, you become successful. You become a success, then things become easy for you. If you string a wing on a caterpillar, that caterpillar is going to fall down and die. It will expose itself to predators that it can never run away from, because it will never be able to use those wings. That's the same thing with people who run after get rich quick schemes, because get rich quick schemes will only expose a small mind to a huge amount of capital, and that is going to destroy him. So the only way to achieve your goals in this life is, after a series of failures and events and all that, is to go through it. The caterpillar just feeds and feeds and feeds, whereby it stores energy for that point where it's going to go into a cocoon. When it goes into that cocoon, it does a lot of restructuring. The butterfly that comes out on the outside, it looks so very different from the caterpillar. And listen, my friend, the butterfly can never crawl, which means the caterpillar that went in as a crawly insect comes out as a flying insect, and that flying insect cannot even crawl anymore, because it has gone ahead to become something sophisticated. It is sophisticated in its feeding, it is sophisticated in its motility, it is sophisticated in its outlook. So what you need is to understand that the only way is to decide today to allow yourself go through that process of metamorphosis. Secrete a cocoon around yourself, read more books, get some mentors, try certain things, make some major readjustments within your being, and you will come out as that great and beautiful butterfly. Remember, it is not with physical dexterity. It is not with intellectual dexterity that these things are done. These things are done by the force of character, by reflection, and by judgment. And all these come when you decide to sit down and think about it and channel all your energies into the right place that you need to go. Only then and only then can you be able to raise your game. And remember, what we emphasize on this blog is that for you to be able to play the game of life, you must become a master at the game of life. And to become a master at the game of life, you must understand the rules and understand the nuances and the things that need to be done. Until I come your way once again, I am Olamiju, and what we only wanted to do here is to raise your game. See you next time.